Growing up in a farming community and having family members at that farm really got me connected to the farming community. It's a group of people that take pride in what they do and have a real sense of community that I can relate to.
What makes us unique at Grimble B. Coleman is that we have a dedicated team of folks that work with the ag industry. We have people that have personal backgrounds that came from a farming background and have spent time with clients and really learn the industry and learn the challenges that our clients face. Business advisory is us going beyond the traditional compliance work and looking for those projects where we can really partner with our clients and give them some additional insight.
It's important to have a relationship with your clients because if you don't have that relationship, you tend to stay on the surface. You tend to stay transactional. By having a relationship, you get to know your clients and your client's business is a lot better. You understand the challenges that they're trying to overcome, and by having that additional relationship with them, you're able to solve some of those problems that you might not get to if you only had that surface level relationship.
I think the very obvious challenge now is COVID. It's limited opportunity and access to some of these companies right now, but we are kind of getting through some of them in terms of using Zoom to really get across to some of them. And the good thing about the opportunities that the industry presents is reaching out to us in some cases, because one of the challenges we've had in the past is contact, being able to get the right person to contact, and also understand how to marry what the industry need is versus what our capability is. So that has been a challenge, but I think we are getting through that. The other thing also challenge we have with the industry is an opportunity to really interface with them more frequently, to know what is going on, what the challenges are that we can look into, because we have faculty that are doing research in different areas that may be very relevant to some of the challenges there that the student can work on, faculty can work on. And there's a faculty in the computer science that is looking in using Internet of Things, how to use sensors and devices that can actually capture data all around and synthesize data so that it becomes available to make decisions. And these are areas that industry can really benefit from, particularly knowing that our ag industry is really, we still need a long way to go to catch up in the technology sphere. So knowing what those problems are is really very important. I think the more we are able to contact them or have them contact us, and I'm really very happy that for this program, this particular forum where industry partners can interface with folks from the university like us, education, to really be able to know what is going on at those two areas, both industry and education. So those are some of the problems that we really encounter right now.
And Dave, some additional challenges?
I'll just reiterate some of the challenges that Rotimi mentioned. The question really points out this dual role of higher education. We want to prepare students for jobs when they graduate that meet industry needs, and we also want to prepare students for jobs in 20 years that they can't imagine. So, over the next 20 or 25 years, things that can be automated will be automated. So our challenge is to make sure we train students to do the jobs that only humans can do. Creative thinking, kind of adaptability, resilience, persistence, things like that. And when I've talked to industry leaders, they acknowledge the importance of those qualities, but then they say, but I need a person right now who can handle pesticides. And so that's a real challenge, is trying to balance that, that dichotomy of roles in higher education. Another challenge we have that we mentioned earlier is our lack of College of Engineering, which could really help on the ag tech side of things.
Colleen, what challenges are you seeing at UC Merced?
Yeah, thanks. I definitely agree with the earlier speakers, and with Rotini, like COVID definitely has impacted our relationships, just not being able to like sit down at a table or a lunch or be at these events and make those kind of informal connections and dialogues has been challenging. I think the other major challenges that came up in some of these like ag tech roundtables is just kind of time and funding, which are always issues. Just academia and industry have different timelines, and especially at research institutes, we need to publish findings, or we have different drivers. And for funding, it's like, especially with the National Science Foundation, and even with the more application-based agencies, they want to see more basic science that's not necessarily, say, useful to industry. You kind of have that also valley of death with like innovations or technology. Like you need that investment that's not very rewarding for industry from like the federal government to invest and develop the technology, but we need to listen to industry and not develop something that's not going to function in the field but works really well in the lab. And I think some of the industry partners said, just with the capstone projects and projects with teams, it does take a lot of their time, which is money and like investment, and some of the projects proposed are expensive. So they want to see that return on investment in investing their time and resources on those projects. So we just need to kind of find those opportunities and pathways and try to find solutions that aren't like extremely costly to our partners.
Thank you. And Dawn, your challenges.
Well, one of the things I'd say, I think one of our strong suits in the past has been our relationship with the industry. But as we look at COVID, we don't know what we don't know yet. I think that going forward, the opportunity to bring students to a business, there's going to be different protocols in place that we've never faced before. So what do those look like? We don't know yet. That's going to be a challenge, I think, going forward. Any organization has a risk management. I'm sure they're going to be develop some procedures and protocols for that. In our classes, we normally have a lab setting, and we either bring industry to us or we go out to industry. So even right now, bringing someone to us is a challenge just because of the COVID situation. So I think that that's going to be something that we're going to continue to build. Anytime you're building relationships, I think time is a factor, and the opportunity and limited factor of how much time. So I think that that's kind of the challenges going forward, is we don't know what we don't know yet. But also, I think one of the things that's a positive takeaway is, instead of bringing somebody in just locally with the ability of Zoom, we can bring folks in throughout the world now into our classroom, which is something we hadn't done in the past. You know, we just thought about our own little sphere of influence and, you know, our own little service areas. We need to be thinking outside that box and getting to folks that are other states, other countries, and bringing in the experts to share their experiences. And so I think that's a positive of what we do know going forward out of COVID.